Okay, so once the algorithm has switched and confirmed, it gives me my stop if I'm wrong, and it also gives me my targets if I'm right. There's 1, 2, and 3 right here, and sometimes I get even more than that. All right, good morning. It is July 8th today, so yeah, Wednesday. So we got our algorithm switching here with indicator to get in. We got permission to get in long. Volume's agreeing, so we're queued up, ready to go. In about 10 seconds, as long as this confirms, we'll be in this trade. Right there. All right, 3, 2. All right, we're in. So we'll see how it does. Okay, so this is the same stock we had a nice win on Monday. So hopefully we'll have another one today. Market. Actually, going to go range. Low 1280. We're going to make it break it. So 1279. And then 1313. And sell. Check that the order is in up here at the order window. All right, cool. So we're in. So we'll see how this thing shapes up. All right, cool. Should be getting stopped out here in just a second, and we're gonna speed bump this play and reverse our trade here. If this stops us out, clearly got speed bumped on this one. All right, we should be out. Why are we not out? One more penny. One more penny. Hopefully we don't get out and this thing turns around and goes back up. But either way, it's a little bit of a risky play for speed bump because we have these this like inside candle deal basically. We're trading, if this was even just this candle, we're trading inside it right now, so there might be a consolidation happening here. Right now my stop is just below that candle at 79. So yeah, we may have a little consolidation happening here. This could consolidate throughout the day. It might always stay in the channel. So the risk is if I play a speed bump play on it, is it stays in a channel and then we get chopped up. But if this breaks to the downside and breaks past this level, then speed bump play is definitely in order. So you can see here, it looks like it might be in a channel here, but it's a pretty tight channel with some big candles. So we'll see if that can hold or if this breaks out pretty fast. Just hopefully it breaks out to the upside and we make our target and we don't have to speed bump it. But yeah, we'll see. And it could literally stick in this channel all day long. So hopefully it doesn't do that to us. We'll see what happens. All right, so you can see the channel we're in clearly is forming. So, but we do have a higher low and a higher low, but we also have a lower high and a lower high here. So we'll see if this becomes a higher low and does this become a really tight wedge and then break out with some serious energy, or is this just going to break down right now? So we'll find out here in a second, and then we'll definitely trade with the direction. You know, if it continues, you know, if it goes up, obviously we're good. And if it breaks to the downside, then we're going to switch to the short side, recover our day, and get out like that. You know, if you're one of my students watching this, if next time it came up to break even, if you wanted to get out, you could totally get out. You know, if commissions aren't going to hurt you, you got no commissions, then it's not a bad idea just to jump out on the sidelines. That could happen right here, or even over here. I personally wouldn't have done it over here because I wanted to give it a chance. This nice big candle could accelerate, but once it came back down in here and came back up to this area, you know, that could have been an exit as well at break even. So anyway, so here we are. So we're coming down. This should go up from here if we're going to make a higher low, I would think. Maybe go down a couple of pennies. So we'll see how this plays out. All right, so here we go. So we had a higher low, higher low, higher low in a way, lower highs. So if I were to draw channel lines on here, right? This is almost flat. So we're broken here. So if this stops me out, I'm going to wait for it to stop me out. And if it stops me out, we're going to reverse our trade because this looks like it's broken. So I say all that for the technical traders out there. For my students, it doesn't really matter because they're just trading the speed bump and they're just trading off the algorithm. But you can kind of see where it makes sense to reverse the trade once this stops out. The reason why it doesn't make sense to stop the reverse the trade right here is because we still have this support area that we had earlier that may still be valid. So because you don't really know what the channel looks like until you look at it from different time frames. So this might be a clear channel, but then you look at a different time frame, you're like, oh no, we're still inside the bigger channel kind of thing. So you got to look at all the different support resistance if you're doing this technical on a technical trade wise and not just an algorithm. But for my students that are on the algorithm, they don't have to worry about it. They just the algorithm gave them the numbers, clearly a speed bump play, and then reverse the trade if it breaks. So okay, going to reverse this trade. So we reversed it. So now we're on the short side. Alright, so my stop is going to be right here, 1296. Actually, it's just going to be just above this channel, 13. I put a range order in. So the high is going to be 1301. Just because whole numbers sometimes can be a pretty strong resistance. And then 1263. We're going to put a 1246 and then we'll just trail it. So when we get to 1263, I'll put a stop in once we cross it. Okay, we're short, so we're going to buy it back. Alright, so on that trade, we took a 16 cent loss on it. So we'll see if we make our 16 cents back here, or a portion of it. And again, on speed bump plays for my students, it's not about getting the whole thing or getting profit. It's about recovering, a chunk of your loss. So, anytime you want to take your trade off the table and take a chunk and reduce your loss, go for it. But we'll see if we get this 16 because of this channel right here. If we break down below this, this looks pretty solid. But at the same time, when it gets to the bottom of this low of day, I could just take my trade off and say reduce my loss, and then reducing my loss like that a whole bunch of times, of course, adds up at the end of the year to make us a lot more money. So, all right, we'll see what happens here. So still a little bit of a risky trade to be on a speed bump play because we are right at this support level. So if this support level right in here, and then again right here, low of day will be support. So if we don't break below that, this could eventually rally to the upside. And then basically what will happen is we'll look back and say, oh, we got stopped out by 1 penny and then it rallied without us. And yeah, that's exactly what we'll say. So here we are. So that's the deal. We're still on the support level. We got another little one here at the open. And again, for the students, the simple switch, basically they just know the algorithm numbers. You got broke, so you're speed bumping in. That's basically it. So, all right, cool. Alright, so now we're getting to the low of day area. That should be the next area of resistance. It could just blow right through it, but it should be the next area of resistance. And then if we get to 1263, that'll be break even on the day. We'll basically zero out our trade, and anything after that will actually be profit. So that'll be pretty sweet. Okay, so we just broke low of day, so this should continue downward from here. We'll see. Should, keyword should. Market has a habit of making you think that way, and then surprise. But at the same time, the overall market is selling off so hard right now. It's insane. It basically in this one, yeah, in like 5 minutes is giving up the whole day. It's oh man, it's crashing big time right now. So this probably will continue down. Okay, so we're breaking through here. 62. I need the 60. I'm going to try to put my stop in at 62. But I think this is going to continue lower. So because the whole market's selling off right now pretty bad. So I'm going to go ahead and just hang out here for a moment. Plus we also broke down through this channel here, the support. So I think we're going lower. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a wait and see. I could have already got out just now probably. I don't know, did this click 63 over here? So if it did, I could have got out with break even on the trade. We're looking for some new opportunities. But I'm going to go ahead and be patient and wait for this one to get. I think we're going to go to 1246. So that's where my target is right here. So 1263 was a little bit of support yesterday. But once it breaks that, there's not really anything. It's like open air until 1228. So right here, 1228. But I think 1246 will be my target. But there's a really good possibility it hits 1228, unless it starts to build a new support area. All the time stocks, ignore old, not necessarily ignore, but don't pay as much attention to old support and resistance areas, and they build new ones. So we'll see if it does that. But right now, this once it breaks here, this looks like the last resistant area, support area rather, from yesterday, and then it's pretty open air for a while. I'll show you 1263 yesterday. So you can see it's kind of in a tight channel there again, and then you have 1264, 1263 right in here. And then all the way down to 12, 20, 21, whatever. So I think if it breaks this right now, then I think that's what we're going to see. I think we're coming all the way back down. And then before that, the stock was much higher. So you have to go back like several days to get back to this this area. Maybe a week. Okay, here we go. Breaking it. So right now we are in profit on the day. So if I sold out right here, it would be a green day. Commissions might hurt a little bit, but basically a green day. Alright, so I showed you how 63 was the support level from yesterday, 1263. So clearly you can see that playing out right now. It broke through there just a little bit, and then it started to get propped back up right here at this 1263 area. So yeah, we'll see this, see how strong this is. I don't think it's a very strong support level. So we're getting a reaction off of it. We stopped, we couldn't get through it here, and then we got through a little bit here, but right away that energy from that being in support level pushed it back up. And again, I don't think it's a strong support level, so I anticipate this will eventually break down, but it doesn't mean it doesn't create one. That's the thing with stocks. You never know when they're going to create a really strong level. So that could be in the works here. We'll see what happens. So for the technical traders out there, sometimes when, and you probably know this already and you're looking at this and you're expecting it, a lot of times when a stock breaks a support area, which this one it didn't break, but right here, it'll come back and retest that area. And you may break it a lot and then come back and retest it before it continues lower. So what was once support usually becomes resistance, and what was once resistance usually becomes support. So for me, looking at this on the technical side of things, this is resistance. It should be resistance. Both of these areas should be resistance right now. And we're also getting a green candle that's closing equal to or just above a red candle, potentially in another minute, which also signals a short to me as well. So when you start adding all these different things up, it starts to look like a good short. So if it's looking like a good short and I'm already short, then I'm not going to get out. But if it starts to like everything's starting to line up to look like a long position and I'm short, then I need to start looking at an exit, you know. But right now everything looks like it's lining up to be a short, so I'm going to stay short. So, and if you're one of my students trading just on the algorithm, then this would have been your exit right here, and you would have broke even on this trade, and you would have been looking for the next opportunity. So this would have been a break-even day for you. You probably wouldn't be waiting for this. You shouldn't have been waiting for that. Or if you were, once it broke here, you would have put your stop in, and when it backed up, you would have got out. So this should be a break-even day for any of my students on this particular stock, and then you'd be looking for another trade. But if you're trading on a technical side, then you're looking at this and saying, nah, this still looks like a short. All right, cool. So we closed even with this red candle. So this, and then we got our resistance area. A lot of good stuff. Says this is probably going to go down the next candle or two. Okay, so clearly this 1263 area right here is definitely becoming major support. So we have a bounce, a pretty decent bounce back up to resistance, back down. Little bounce. If it doesn't get through on this bounce and it wants to try this again, I'm just going to break even on this day. And all good, you know, I can get in, make my trades and end up the day with zero. That's better than ending the day with a loser. So, you know, like I said, the last trade I had on this, I made 16 cents on it. So if I can end this day only losing a penny or no pennies, then great. But we're going to give this a little bit of opportunity to break here. And then I think we're going to have to look at exiting this trade, because as this support clearly is developing and the day is moving on, conditions can change. And this thing may rally back up to the top of this channel. And maybe it never goes anywhere. Maybe it stays in a long consolidation. But you know, then timing will be a factor, and I might end up taking a loss because bad timing and the day ran out. So I'm gonna look to taking profit here shortly. If we get a decent candle like this one here breaking below, I'll put my stop in, pretty much break even, or I'll just take some profit and call it a day. So we'll see what happens. All right, so what I'm thinking here is looking at this consolidation that's happening and this building of energy that's taking place here. Where is that going to get, you know, where's it going to go? Is it going to break to the downside, or is this going to provide support and then it's going to rally, right? So, you know, looking at the markets overall, markets are rallying a little bit. They're on their way back up, it looks like, but we'll see for how long. Right now I could take this trade off the table and be pretty much break even on the day, 1 penny loss. So it's kind of the conflicting thing in my mind, or 2 penny loss even. So what, you know, 2 pennies, I made 16 cents on it the other day per share. So if I take a 2 penny loss today, I'm still at big time for the week. Whereas if I hang out here and this does come back up, I'm looking at maybe a 9 cent loss today. That cuts my weekly gains more, you know, in half, more than half. So do I just take it here and call it a day? Am I just feeling greedy and I want it to stay, to come down? Like, you know, I'm questioning all those things. Per the simple switch strategy, this trade's already over. Break even, cancel out the trade, look for something else to trade, because while I'm stuck in this too, I'm not going to be able to take advantage of other opportunities that might be popping up. So, you know, right now if an opportunity pops up, I can bounce out and I'm in a good place, but if it pulls back a little bit, then I won't have that option. So I'm just thinking about those things right now. So now I'm looking at this at 62. So now I'm 1 penny in the profits for the day. So technically a green day, you know, minus commissions. So part of me is like, you know, I should jump out, but the question is, am I being fearful? Or part of me is like, I should stay in, but am I being greedy? Is there a reason to stay, or is there a reason to go? So the reason to go would be that we're on a support level right here and it hasn't broken yet. So that would be a reason to go. A reason to stay is that we have this downward trend taking place, where we do have a high, you know, a low, a high, a lower low, looks like a lower high, potentially a lower low, and potentially a full-on breakdown, because once it crosses through this level, we could see a major slide. So the reward could be pretty big to stay in. So, you know, all those little things. The low here is 1257, so we're clicking 60.61. We got a ways to go before we break this. You know, it's all those kind of thoughts that go through your head as a trader. And then the other part of it is I need to be done trading here in about 20 minutes, so that's the other part. So I really need to be out of this trade. So if this does pull back up, I won't have time to sit here the rest of the day because I got other things I got to do. So yeah, so then I can get stuck exiting a trade for a loss when it could have been a winner or a break even. So that's the other thought going through my mind. So clearly this is a support level right here. All right, so 63 was break even on my day. We're down 60.61. So 12.62, I got my stop in here. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and click clear. I don't want to be greedy, but at the same time, I have to be realistic. We are in a support area that could hold, and I don't have a lot of time left in my day. So 59, that's nice. So now we got a 4-cent profit, 3-cent profit, 4-cent. We'll see what it ends up doing. Alright, so I could change this to, keep going, 59. Alright, so we're right here at this this make it or break it level. Okay, we're breaking it. Looks like we're going to break it, 56, so we got a new low. So this could be the slide right here. There we got going on, so 59. We got about a minute left for this candle to close, so we'll see if this is going to continue to slide or will we get a little pullback up to this area before it slides. Okay, so 56, now we got like a 7-cent profit. If I took it at 56. Still in the support area though. I don't think support is an exact number, it's more of an area, and you can see this is holding this 63 area, 57 area. 63 broke, but 57 area is holding. Alright, so I broke through the $0.50, so that's good. I would think that we would get our 46 here. We're at 47 on the bid. We need it on the ask because we're buying because we're short. So we're buying on this over here. To buy it back, and this is what they're willing to sell it at. So 46, cool. So we break that, we'll be able to put our stop in. As soon as it breaks it by a penny or two, I'll put my stop in. 245 over here. Come on, don't do that. I could just get out right now and take my 16 cents, but I want to give it a chance to go. So okay, so there we go. So I'm clearing. Oh, bobbled back up. Come on, 45 and hold, please. 45, holding, and buy. All right, so now if it backs up, then that's fine. We'll be out with our 16 cents profit. That'll be awesome. It'll be 33 cents per share profit on this trade, but it'll be 16 cents on the day, or 17 cents on the day. Okay, I'm going to change my stop to 42, and then if we end up getting out, just because I'm running out of time on my day, so I'm going to put my stop in at 42, and then if we back up to 42, I'll be out with 37 cents per share, which will be awesome. So there we go. So we're out. Cool. So we got out of 42, got our 37 cents per share, which is fantastic, which ends up putting the day at plus 21 cents on this stock. So earlier in the week we traded this stock and we were able to make 16 cents on it, and then we just made another 21 cents on it. So pretty good day. All right, everybody, hope you had an awesome day. Definitely sometimes patience pays off, and then with the algorithm it's pretty nice when, you know, every stock on my list right now is eligible for speed bump plays. So when I can do a speed bump on it, it's a pretty nice opportunity to have a pretty good turnaround. Really, at the end of the year, it makes a big difference with your win losses, because if I took a loss on this trade and I could do a speed bump and end up only losing a couple pennies, or if a loss on this trade gets erased and I'm only gonna have 2 losers out of 10, and every time I have a loser, that loser gets erased or turns into profit, then it's a pretty sweet setup. So anyway, so there we go. So hope everybody had an awesome day, and we'll see you maybe on Friday or tomorrow Thursday, I don't know, maybe Friday. All right, everybody, see ya.